Hello, darlings. And now it's time for your favorite part of the show, our Stacking Benjamin's headlines.
Our headline today comes to us also from the Wall Street Journal. We're surrounded today, OG, by Wall Street Journal. But Ben Eisen wrote this one. Where are banks finding borrowers? Guess, OG, where they're finding borrowers.
The corner store.
At the car lot. Big banks are pushing deeper into auto lending. Bank of America said last year was a record for auto loan originations. Wells Fargo and Company posted 3 straight quarters of records. It said the fourth quarter was up 77% from a year earlier. So the two most hated banks in America. Hey, you know what?
Let's get into car loans.
We've got a great way to Darth Vader some people. Let's do some auto lending. Auto lending is a dangerous thing, OG, and buying a new car can also be a dangerous thing. And I feel like this is just a disaster for a lot of unsuspecting people waiting to happen.
Well, let's just assume that people who are buying cars are actually doing it because it's time to buy a car and not just because there's a whole bunch of stimulus money lying around. But why wouldn't you buy a new car right now, considering the prices of used cars?
No, that is interesting because when you look at the price of a new car, the reason why people go used versus new usually is because a car depreciates. This is a number from bankrate.com. A new car loses between 15 and 20% of its value each year. But a lot of that, as you know, is right off the top.
First 3 years, and then it just kind of flattens out, right?
So it slows down. It doesn't flatten out, but it does slow down. But those first 3 years are monsters. So when you just look at that alone, buying a used car makes sense. But I'm with you right now. The used car market right now is en fuego.
Yeah.
there is no it's a great time to get very low financing if you need it and get a deal that probably makes up for that 15 to 20%.
Well, I'll give you an example. I just got a letter yesterday from the Toyota dealer here in Dallas by our house. So we bought a Toyota minivan in 2016. It's a 2017 that we bought at the end of 16. So it's about 5 years old, right?
Because they built you a car in the future.
They did. That's how that works.
It is. That's what type of customer you are.
They were like, don't tell anyone, but this one's next year's. Like, isn't this the, I could never understand why they come out in the summertime with next year's car. I just
makes back to the letter you got. Pull it together,
Quiet.
boys.
The adults are talking. Just because we invite you here doesn't give you the right to interrupt me.
Well,
stop. I got a whole bag of right here. Anywho's.
Joe.
So, get this letter from Toyota. It's a 5-year-old minivan. We bought it for $40,000. It's got 70,000 miles on it, and they want to give us $32,000 to trade it in right now. So, 70,000 mile minivan, 5 years old.
Wow.
$32,000 to trade it in. Now, the problem, of course, is the brand new one costs $50,000.
Right.
You know,
if you can get it.
Yeah, if you can get it. Exactly. Thank you for adding that, Doug.
I add value.
Yes, you did in that
Twice
case.
A show.
That was value add. So I mean, if you can get what you want, if it happens to be on the lot, or you can order it kind of in advance, why would you not, get a new one now if you can afford it? Frankly, even if you weren't in the market for one, because you're resetting that clock to your point of like starting over again. I just got to use this car for
What do you mean you're resetting that clock?
That that depreciation schedule. You're kind of
Well,
starting over again.
But if you can get something where you're not paying out of pocket another $15,000.
Or if you are, I just start. So, think of it this way. If I got $30,000 for this minivan, I got to I used it for 5 years for $2,000 a year. That's a pretty inexpensive
I agree with
Right.
that,
And-
but I remember a time, and I think this depends, right, where you are on the economic scale, because to some people, OG, just preserving that cash flow is going to be the all important thing.
Sure.
I mean, if I can preserve cash flow first, but I think you're also right. If I need a decent ride and I've been paying out of pocket X amount of money and the actual cost of this loan is pretty damn close to zero.
Yeah.
I mean, interest rates are super attractive. So, if you're going to do it, now's the time.
But
It would be better if you could put it together with buying a used one
yeah,
and low interest rates. But the reality is that if you go look at the used car lot, it's just as bare as the new car lot. And
Right.
if you do find a new car or a used car, it's going to cost damn near as much as the new one does.
right.
So why
Or
not?
there's seriously something wrong with it
Yeah,
that
or
you
have,
don't know yet. That
why
you'll
not have
figure
that
out later.
5-year warranty or whatever comes with brand new cars? I don't.
Yeah, Doug.
Weird situation.
I had the back to the comment I made earlier, is if you can find the replacement vehicle. I had the El Camino in for service the other day and got approached by a salesperson. Hey, would you be interested in trading that in? And yeah, hey, I'm listening to all offers. And so the guy takes me through the whole thing about what it's currently worth, and it was a lot higher than I would have guessed. And we get to the very end, and he said, but here's the problem. I can't get you another El Camino like the one you're driving right now. Like, why the hell did you even approach me? If you can't get me a vehicle, then why? But they are clamoring for inventory on their used lot, but they don't have anything to replace it with. They only have half the equation. And so I will more than likely, because OG told me some of the more sage advice he's given me, this may be the only time in history where the El Camino is an asset rather than a liability. And it might be. I may just end up buying the El Camino outright, finally paying off that 35-year loan I've got on it.
Well, that happened to my mom. I mean, when she had a lease and went to go turn it in, and it was more advantageous to buy the car at the buyout lease price and then resell it to the dealer than it would have been to just trade it in. It was the, she had a call option for all you Redditors,
That's
for all you
exactly
Wall
right.
Street boarders. She had a call option on her vehicle. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the market doesn't change in the next 8 or 9 months from me, I'm probably doing the same thing.
Yeah. I didn't be able to do it earlier.
But you know that there are a bunch of people, though, OG, who do not understand the terminology, don't know what they're getting into. And it's people at car lots, man, especially when you're dealing with the new car dealer and not just some dude down the street. Don't get me wrong. The dude down the street's going to try to get his best deal or her best deal. But when it comes to the car dealership, these people are ninjas. Like, they do this all day, every day. They have classes before the dealership opens every day on how to make sure that they're more profitable. So I think you got to go in there knowing some of the basics.
Well, most of the money comes from the financing and from the maintenance. There's not a lot of money in actually selling the vehicles.
But I also think that you need to know how to make your best deal. If
100%.
you don't know how to make your best deal, if you haven't done any online shopping, like I've got this US News and World Report a thing pulled up, and I think these are important. First of all, number one, know your budget. Start with your budget, not and your budget, by the way, is not the monthly payment. It is the monthly payment could be important, but don't get talked into a bigger loan. We're looking at 8-year loans in some cases now for cars, OG. I mean, think about the depreciation on a brand new car 8 years from now.
It'd be 8 times 20%. You said that earlier.
Nice. I was waiting for Doug to add in that one for us. Then second, find the right vehicle. Third, learn the language, and just the language on financing alone. Remember our Friday show a couple of weeks ago where we were talking about the Len Penzo from lenpenzo.com was talking about the difference between APR and APY, right?
Right. Yep.
Just knowing some of the terminology that people use. To your point, OG, buy a car before you need a car is, I think, something good. But on the other side, don't buy too soon. Know your credit score before you go in, because a few points on your credit score is going to help you a lot. And if you have a credit card, I think, man, I feel like every credit card in my wallet now provides free credit scores, where 7-8 years ago, that was not the case.
Yeah, pretty much. And I would also say, make sure that you look at those comparison shopping sites. If you remember at Costco, for example, you can go down the Costco car purchase program, and it will kind of guide you through, like, here's what we think is the best deal. In fact, even do all of that negotiating up front and say, if you take this, piece of paper into the dealership, this is the Costco price.
Well, and we even talked about, I use Navy Federal's, our sponsors, TrueCar.
TrueCar, yeah. It says there's a lot of relationships there to be. I thought when you were talking about credit cards, I was like, is he going to say to put your car payment on a credit card? Like, I think that you should put your, to get all your points. I was like, boy, that's
boy,
do that.
I think he sold his soul to some marketer. Yeah, probably not today. Good stuff here. We will have a lot of links on our show notes page. Even more, we'll deep dive into this in our 201, our newsletter, where we do deep dive, stackingbenjamins.com/201.